Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you are all good. Today, I want to talk to you about the danger zones that are found in an emotionally abusive situation. I have picked up three stages that I thought were important for me to talk about today because they do not happen consciously. When you are in the situation, it all happens subconsciously. And I'm only able to talk about it today because I'm looking from the outside. And so I want to help somebody recognize where they are and so that they can make an informed decision for their future. Last week, we talked about how your idea of love can predispose you to emotional abuse. And so, if you are unaware that you're being emotionally abused, you will actually believe that your whole experience is love. Therein is the actual problem. Because if you believe that your situation is love, you're not going to want to move. Your mind is telling you this is what we've been looking for. We are happy here. We've found the perfect partner. So we do not want to go anywhere. But on the other hand, your heart is telling you we're feeling so much pain, we're in distress, we're uncomfortable, we want to leave. So you are at war with yourself. And in this stage, you are likely to become mental. And I find this to be the most dangerous because you are still very much hopeful. You're working against yourself and you're going to be emotionally and mentally exhausted. You will be trying to explain every single day how you want to be treated. You will be trying to reinvent yourself to change um, for this person, but you find you fall flat on your face each time. And this roller coaster of emotions would likely make you want to escape, but to escape, not to leave. You don't want to leave because you still believe that this is it for you. So an escape is going to be drugs, alcohol, food, whatever it is that's going to help you numb the pain. So being an addict is a whole other thing. You're going to be in more danger being an addict. But self-harming is going to be easy for you because whatever can numb the pain is what you go for. So I think that as long as a person is not aware that they're being emotionally abused, they can continue on this roller coaster of emotions and they can end up losing their lives or hurting themselves, whatever other repercussions and consequences can come with being an addict, um, because they just don't know or believe that the loved ones are being abusive. So if you are feeling all of these things that I've mentioned and you're thinking that it's your imagination, just try sharing it with a friend, try sharing it with a therapist, whoever you trust, so that at least maybe you can come to terms with the fact that it's not your imagination. But what is most important for me is believe in your own heart. Because sometimes you can tell a trusted friend or a family member, and they will tell you that you are being petty, but only you understand what you are feeling. So I would like for you to confront your feelings and believe yourself. If you are in distress, it is because you are in distress. Then it comes to awareness. So now that we've talked about this and you figured it out that you're probably in an abusive situation, maybe you heard it last week, or maybe you talked to a friend and they told you, maybe your support structure was so solid that the moment that you got into that relationship, they noticed and they told you. You are aware that you're being abused, but you always have a choice. And some people choose to accept it. It's hard. I mean, if you have always believed that this is what love is and you got what you always wanted, it's hard to just then drop it and say, oh well, I always wanted it, but it's not what I expected, so let me leave. So sometimes we choose to accept the situation, still hoping that one day it will change. So this is the stage where you are literally hoping for a miracle. If you are a Christian, you this is the stage where you go all out with your prayers and fasting and all of that, not actually facing the situation. While it's noble and it's great that you want to believe in change and all of that, the problem with that is when you allow somebody to abuse you knowingly, you lose yourself because you are going to go with the wind, whatever they say you do. And before you know it, you don't even know who you are, if you even did in the first place. But you become a shell of yourself. I feel these people that are in the stage become isolated, not because their abuser is even controlling, but because they stop being who they are. And so they don't even fit in their own circles. And this is a very depressive state, a state of allowing someone to walk all over you and to decide how you live your life. This is where you have zero self esteem, zero self love, but it is inevitable. You're not going to have comfort anyway. It is inevitable that you're going to be in distress because emotional abuser will be inflicting pain on you on a roller coaster type of vibe. That one day you are happy and you start to actually believe the miracle is happening. The next day you are flat on your face. This is where I would say you are like a dog, or in African culture where if you think about the dog in the rural area, where if the owner wants to play with the dog, they're happy and everything, but if they're done, you have to go outside whether it's raining or not. Nobody cares. You go outside, but when they're ready to play with you, you come. This is, for me, this is how I describe that situation. It is very sad, but that person is also better off because they know what's going on. Then the last stage is where you have decided, no, I'm not going to accept this anymore, or you just skipped from, I wasn't aware, now I'm aware, I'm not going to stay for this, but I want to work on an exit plan. Like again, I said, it's hard for you to just up and leave a marriage or up and leave a relationship that has been going on for years. You want to find a way that is easiest for you. So sometimes you're aware that you are being abused and you are actively trying to walk out. What I mean here is subconsciously you have taken back your power. Subconsciously you want out. You're no longer believing in this whole fairy tale or these lies, but you are trying to get out. But the problem is because it's subconscious and you're doing it without actually confronting your feelings, you can become the perpetrator. Imagine trying to gather information about about your abuse so that you can be able to explain to your friends or your family. You actually have to make your abuser do things that are outrageous, the things that you know they are capable of doing anyway. And that in itself is manipulation. So there's a danger that you can become exactly like the person that was manipulating you or that was abusing you. And without even going further, that is dangerous because you can walk out of that relationship, but you are going to abuse the next person that you're going to be in a relationship with if you never come to terms with what you are. But on the other hand, you might think you've got it on lock and you're powerful, and your perpetrator picks it up and then dials up his abuse a notch, such that if he was just verbally abusive, he starts to be physically abusive. That can become very dangerous for you because at this point he could actually kill you, and it probably wouldn't have happened had you not taken your power and started using it against them. And so in this situation, I'd say once you realize this is not something you're able to stand for and you want out, it's better for you to just move out than for you to try and stay and gather information. Because, like we said last week, it doesn't matter if you cannot explain it. It doesn't matter that you don't understand it or nobody else understands it. As long as you feel what you're feeling, it's valid and you can walk away. I hope that you have understood what I'm trying to say here. You are not going to be choosing and saying, "Oh yes, I'm accepting to be abused." You're not going to say, "Oh yes, I'm powerful now. I want to live," or "I'm unaware. I feel this is love, but I'm hurt." You're never going to be like that. It's just going to be normal to you, but these are the stages that an emotionally abused person can go through and not be even aware of it. So tell a friend or find a way out.